Good morning, everybody, guys and girls. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Grayson, and you are gaming with Grayson today. Yet again, I'd like to bring another retro video to you today. We're going to talk about Power Rangers on the SNES, specifically the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, not the movie edition or the fighting edition, just the original base game, which I always preferred the SNES version of this one. If you like any of this content that I put out, please like, subscribe, and share. I'll always return the favor, whether it's on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, you name it. I'll give you a shout out. I'll try to advertise for you and give you some feedback if you'll do the same for me. So anyway, let's just jump right into it, and we'll talk about why I like this game above the other ones. And let's dive into the menu here. As you can see, we got the theme song playing. On the SNES, I always have the killer sound effects on the SNES versus the Genesis version. Options, it's got a password, you got mono, stereo, not much here. Didn't need a lot of options for this one. It's not a tough game. I mean, it's challenging, but after a few attempts, you get the hang of it, and you can really kick some ass in this game. See, we got Rita here. Gonna do her evil doings here, and you can pick any of the Rangers from, except for the green. He didn't make the cut at this time. It may have been too early developed. This time we're gonna go with the Black Ranger. We'll go with Zach. I like this game the most because it played a lot like Streets of Rage and Double Dragon. It had a good mix of being challenging, but not too challenging, not enough to frustrate you. You really felt tough. You could really throw down and beat these guys up, the putties, and it felt really cool, and just a good balance on the gameplay side of things. And the graphics for the time, really good. You can see here, each Ranger is pretty well detailed. The putties are detailed. You got some destructible environments a little bit. We can throw people on the car there, bust the windshield out if you can get down to that area. Sorry about that. A little congested today, but anyway. You see here, we're still going to whip some ass. And another thing I liked is you don't start out as the Ranger or morphed. You start out just without the powers, and you work up to a certain part of the stage, and then you morph. And by the time you get to that part, man, and when you actually morph, the animation, and then from there on, it just feels really badass. Feels like you're doing double the damage. You get a weapon at that point, you get a special move, and you can really lay a hurting on these guys. And it was perfect. It fit the show, because if you watch the show, and who didn't back in the day, every time the first fight they always fight, they start out in their street clothes. They get attacked. And it captured the show really well. And then they would morph when things got tough. And hopefully we'll get to that part here and not drag on too long. Keep you Here we go. We're getting there. Just wanted to show you people that may have not played it, or just want to look back at it. Just want to show off the Morphin here. Here we go. We're going to see the boss of the stage. And this is pretty much every stage will play out like this. You start off without your suit. You get to a certain point, you'll morph. You'll see the boss. He'll take off, and then you got to work your way up to the boss. But now, you do double the damage. You got more moves to pull off here. I'm going to do a special move. Check that out. That's pretty cool, huh? Each Ranger's got his own weapon, so he feels unique, and it's just a fun game. So if you hadn't checked it out, or you're curious to check it out, please do. It'll run you probably about $2 for a physical copy, and I highly recommend this one over the Genesis version. They kind of traded good games back and forth. The base Mighty Morphin game is better on SNES. If you're going for the movie version, the SNES version is garbage. The Genesis version is really good. It plays a lot like this one. It's a lot of fun. And then there was a fighting edition, which is also a ton of fun. It's only on SNES. So if you're going after the base Mighty Morphin game, though, always go SNES version. It's a ton of fun. I highly recommend you pick it up. It'll run you, like I said, about $2 from GameStop or your brick and mortar store. eBay, whatever you order it on. Unless you're using emulation like I am right here, then obviously if you can find a copy, find it, download it, whatever. However you got to get it. It's fun, and I'm sure you'll have a blast, as I'm having a lot of fun here just showing it to you guys, and may play through the whole thing. Thank you guys so much for your time. I appreciate you more than you know, guys. I really, really do. And look me up on Twitter. It's Gaming with Grayson. If you're on YouTube, it's Gamer Goggles NCU. And I'll be sure to give you a shout out and try to advertise for your channel as well. I'll always subscribe and like if you will do the same for me. Thank you guys. I appreciate you. And we'll see you next time here soon with some more content coming up.